Welcome. For those of you who've been with me since day one, thank you. For my new people, hey. So I hope you guys had a good Christmas. Shout out to those who tried my recipes. But for today's recipe, we are going to make arepa. This recipe is very important to me because this is something I used to make with my grandma. I remember going to the salon as a kid and my beautician accepting this as a form of payment because it was just that good. So hopefully we could keep up the tradition. Let's get to it. For this recipe, you will need 2.5 cups of coconut milk. It's a little over 1 can. 3 1/2 cups of milk. I'm using 1%. 1.5 cups of brown sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 4 cinnamon sticks. 2 cups of cornmeal. And 4 tablespoons of butter. Make sure you preheat your oven at 350. So first we're going to grease our pan with 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to go around. Now this cake will rise, so you want to make sure you grease the sides also. My grandma used to just put the same pan she cooked the stuff in the oven, but we're not going to do that today. I prefer this as opposed to cooking spray, but if you want to do cooking spray, by all means, you can do that. We're going to set the pan aside. Now we're going to mix all of our ingredients. We're going to start with our cornmeal. Add our salt. Add our brown sugar. And our milk and coconut milk. And now we whisk all of this together. Quick note, this does not require eggs. And I'm thinking now, this can definitely be a vegan meal if you just substitute your milk for almond milk, cashew milk, and you can substitute your butter for vegan butter. I wouldn't add more coconut milk though. Okay, so this is already mixed up. Now we're going to bring over our pan. All right, so this is the biggest pot that I have. I'm going to now add my 3 tablespoons of butter. Let that melt a little. All right, so our butter is melted enough and we're gonna add our mix now. Stir this. I'm going to now add my cinnamon sticks. I have my heat on medium high. So with this, you just need to be very patient because you're just going to continue to stir this until it comes to a boil. So interesting enough, arepa means something totally different in other countries. I believe in Nicaragua, if I'm not mistaken, arepa is like this. It looks similar to what we call like a pastelillo or empanada. From the image I saw, it was more like on the savory side. But for us Dominicans, arepa is this, which is a cornmeal coconut cake, which I know does not sound very appealing, but you have to taste it. Traditionally, this is done with raisins. I personally don't like raisins in anything, so I did not add them. But if you want, you can add about 1/2 cup of raisins. You can use regular raisins, the blonde raisins. Just gonna keep stirring. You don't want it to stick to the pan or burn. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like right before it's done. So right now it's like sliding off the spoon. When it's ready to go in the oven, it should stick to the spoon, and even when you flip it over, it won't come off. So that's really what you're waiting for, till it thickens up. All right, so I probably stirred that for about 20 to 25 minutes, but it is ready. As you can see, it's thick. This is the consistency you want it at. So what I'm gonna do before I pour it in my pan is take out all my cinnamon sticks. You don't want that in there when you bake it. And if you are gonna add raisins, at this point you would add your half cup of raisins and fold them in. So I am just going to find my cinnamon sticks. We got one. Move this aside. Bring our pan over. And we are going to pour our batter in. Okay. So we're gonna bake this for 40 minutes. And you have to let it cool before you take it out. So off to the oven we go. So my arepa baked for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I would say that you should bake yours at 40 minutes and see how it is. My oven is a little, so I have to bake things a little bit longer. But if you find that it's still a little jiggly, leave it in. It's not supposed to be like cake texture, like it's almost like souffle or banana pudding, that type of texture. So if you cut it in or put a toothpick and you see that it's still wet, bake it a little bit longer, but just keep checking it. I like mine to be almost burnt on the top, so that's what you're gonna see here. But as long as it's golden brown, then you should be good to go. So here's my arepa, which I'm already cutting. Down the middle. Like I said, mine looks a little burnt. That's okay, that's just my preference. So I am going to have me a little bite here. This is piping hot, as you guys know. I like to eat my stuff right out the oven. This is absolutely yummy. This is good. So if you want to take a chance on this recipe, please be sure to take a picture and tag my culinary page at G Culinary Adventures. And please, please, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, bye.